AB 99 requires Caltrans to develop and adopt a statewide policy that will result in reducing the use of harmful pesticides along our state highways. Caltrans must deploy this statewide policy in cities and counties that have adopted integrative pest management practices locally. Pesticides, while designed to control pests, often contain, as we know, toxic chemicals that can pose serious health risks to humans and detrimental impacts to our environment. I recognize the need to keep all the tools in our toolbox. This bill is about stopping the routine pesticide use at Caltrans, especially in cities and counties that have taken local action to limit its use, like Marin and Sonoma counties, which I represent. Recognizing the harms of pesticides, numerous cities and counties have led efforts to either limit or ban the use of pesticides. In the event a certain local jurisdiction has a more restrictive approach than the statewide policy adopted by Caltrans, AB 99 would require Caltrans, to the extent feasible, to abide by the local approach.
Caltrans itself in its 2020 strategic plan said its goal is to push past its traditional role as primarily an infrastructure organization and begin to function as an organization centered around people. It's time, and AB 99 will direct Caltrans to update and change their IPM approach and stop, among other things, the routine use of spraying synthetic pesticides, and hopefully do a much better job of collaborating and finding out what is possible.
We need to think about our vegetation management and our tools that we use that for as a long-term goal for healthy ecosystems. We have to begin to go beyond thinking of one treatment that will do all the work. We need to think about whole system approaches, and Caltrans has the opportunity to do that and to do it better and to have a sustainable system that is healthy for the people, the animals, the roadsides, for all of us, for wildfire and just ecosystem management.
Pesticides use can range between 9 pounds per mile to 150 pounds per mile. That's a huge difference and discrepancy. In the least, this points at a general lack of standardization and coordination between Caltrans district offices. At worst, it points at a situation where Caltrans is grossly over-purchasing and overusing dangerous chemicals on public property. AB 99 would put the right policy in place to help Caltrans move toward a safer and more reasonable approach to vegetation management.
According to data collected by the Department of Pesticide Regulation, Caltrans used 422,832 pounds of pesticides in 2022. I believe this is excessive and can be drastically reduced if we put a stop to the routine spraying of pesticides. Instead of blanketing our highways with pesticides, AB 99 would require a more thoughtful approach to the vegetation management of our highway system. I know Caltrans is capable of the task. At present, Caltrans does not use pesticides for routine roadside vegetation management in the counties of Humboldt and Mendocino. And I'm confident in Caltrans' ability to deploy this approach more broadly.